It's me. It's you. We're here. Hello. Oh, yeah. So right when I went live, I lost 1,500 frames, and then 100 more a little bit later on. I'm hoping that was just this stupid internet getting the stupid out of its system right at the start. Um, Hopefully. Yeah. So we're here. It's Friday. It's September, even though it's still August for another 2 days. Or well, today and tomorrow. Um, they kicked it off earlier. They actually kicked it off yesterday at about noon my time. I was not ready for it. I snuck up. I completely forgot September was a thing. That's number one. Number two, they started it 3 days early, which is great, but I wasn't ready for it because I had no idea it was coming. And three, I don't know what to do for this. I have to come up with ideas. Hooray! Anyways, we're here. I also don't know what I'm going to cook today. I do not have a good idea. And my fallback idea is a stir fry, and as we know, stir fries don't take very long. So my fallback time filler is I recently picked up a new pan. That needs to be cleaned up. It's actually in very good condition, so it doesn't need much cleaning, but it needs a little bit of cleaning. So I might do this with you guys and show you how I clean up cast iron that I pick up at the thrift store. I don't really sell my cast iron, and I should because I've got too much of it now. I grabbed the ones that look really nice though, like this one. So we might get to this. In the meantime, it's going to sit kind of in the back and wait and think about what it's done. Otherwise, I don't really have grand ideas today. I have mushrooms, bok choy, carrots, celery, onions, green onions, cabbage, rice, cucumbers, peppers, limes, tomatillos, a squash. Ooh, we should use that squash. Some tomatoes. We should at the very least cut into this squash and see if it's either dried up or if I need to use it. One or the other. We're getting to that guy today. So squash. That's okay. That changes things a little bit. Tomatoes, peppers, dry goods, frozen. Like a lot of fish in the freezer. We could do fish. I pulled this out because I was like, what is that in the back there? And I fished around and it was these things. Now, I don't know that I want to use these necessarily. I pulled them out because I wasn't sure what they were hidden in the back. I got a lot of options. I got so many options. I'm just going to use stuff. I didn't buy any new ingredients for today. We're just going to use stuff I've already got. So let's start pulling stuff out. There's that squash. It's pretty small. Do rice. We're going to do rice. Decided that whatever else is happening, we're going to do rice. So let's get some rice going in the rice pot. That'll eat up a little bit of time because I've rinsed my rice, etc. I recently tried pressure cooking rice in the Magic Pot, and it does require you to fire up the Magic Pot on pressure mode, but it's faster and makes better rice. So I think when the guy here finally gives up and his beeper's wearing out, but the cooker function is perfectly fine. But whenever it gives up, I might just not replace it and switch to doing pressure rice instead, because it's pretty good. Oh, that's right. This is the toasty rice from when I tried using it as a pie weight. Just look at the back of my head while I do this. So a couple times people have told me my kitchen looks really big when I'm over here and I'm way far away. Hi. But it's 1-2 steps to get this close. So the kitchen's not that big, but I'm glad it looks like it's a grand space. Because honestly, when I'm in it, it feels kind of cramped. I wish I had some more room for just activities. I wish I had an island and room for an island. So I just run some cold water in the pot with the rice, and we're just swirling around the uncooked rice until the water goes cloudy. The thing about doing pressure rice is there is a minimum quantity, because there's a minimum quantity of liquid that you can put in the pressure pot in order for it to achieve pressure. So that is a limitation, and it's 1 cup of water is the limit. And if you put in just exactly 1 cup of water, it takes a while and struggles to get up to pressure. It needs a little bit more to really do it efficiently. So I would say 2 cups of water is the minimum, which means 2 cups of dry rice. Well, 2 cups of water is the, like, ideal minimum. But that means 2 cups of dry rice, which means quite a bit of cooked rice. Which isn't bad if you want a lot of rice, but if you only want a little bit of rice, the big pressure pot is not going to cut it. Oh. I don't know if you can tell. I sure can. I have new glasses. Can you tell, or do they look the same? They're still wireframe. I didn't get different. I'm debating taking them back because they keep sliding down my nose a lot, and I have 30 days to change my mind on them if I don't like them. They're much larger in the lens than the old ones. I guess I'm just going to start prepping things I know I'm going to use regardless of what direction we take this. Grab my board. Slide you guys over here. We're doing that. And we're doing an onion for sure. So step 1, I'm going to just see what the inside of this squash looks like. Ooh, it's hardened up. It might be over. The top looks good. There might just be a dark spot near the bottom that I need to cut away. It's definitely harder than I think they should be. Tiny bit dried up, but not bad overall. And that dark spot does not keep going upward, so it's just a little, probably got in through the bud end. Okay, but good time to use it up in that case. Maybe the extra hard exterior will give us a little bit more structure. looking over at you guys for a sec. See if you're losing frames. You don't appear to be. Hoping that blip was at the beginning. Interesting little half moons because the inside has dried out a little bit. Or rather, has dried out quite a lot. Okay. Now, squash is a starch, but it's a very light starch. You can use it as the bulk vegetable component in things if you want to. We had an absolutely absurd thunderstorm last night. There was a tornado nearby. Did not where I'm in the danger zone for it, but it was near enough that they blew the sirens. But I watched the storm roll through, and it was very intense. I can see how it formed a tornado because there was just erratic wind shifting around with sudden explosive downdrafts, which is exactly how you form a tornado. You get a cyclonic wind. You get a rotating wind pattern in the clouds, and then a downdraft knocks it downward, and it just hits the floor. Miss Sepsi, hi, welcome, welcome. How's it going? Happy Friday. Happy September, apparently. What do you want to cook? I'm starting some basic ingredients, hoping somebody will come along and give me direction. I'm listless and adrift today. Something that includes squash and onions. Or, just let me wander around with ingredients and see where it leads. That's also an option. How was your week? Mine was filled with ups and downs. Oh, and since you are here, what do you think of my glasses? They are not as different as I thought they were going to be when I looked at them at the glasses store. But they are new glasses and they are a different frame. They're much larger. I can see through them that they are very different, but they don't look that different when I look in the mirror. So it might be all in my head. Oh, and thank you to the people who followed me yesterday when I wasn't on. Apparently I got some follows yesterday when I wasn't on. Do you think, regarding the glasses, do you think I would look good with like a thick black frame or a thick plastic frame? This carrot is losing its end because that part is gross. I need to see. I don't have any on hand, unfortunately. I didn't have anybody with me at the place, so I just kind of had to eyeball it. But trying on glasses when you need glasses means you can't really look at them. It's difficult. But my week was much better than last week. Last week was right awful. Cut away that little gnarly bit right there. But I had a great weekend, and it led into a much nicer week this week. Although, mostly just because of distance from last week when it was terrible. Yellow squash, white onion, white carrot. We could lean in on this theme I've started and do white, something white. White food. We also have rice, which is white. Trouble with doing white food is, of course, getting the white sauces and seasonings. Sauces and seasonings tend to be a lot of browns and reds. Not garlic, though. Garlic is white. We're gonna polish off this head of garlic and have to get a fresh one. Ginger is, if I take the skin off, pretty pale. Jay! Jay! Hi. Hello. Welcome. Jay, what should I cook? That includes squash, onions, and carrots and garlic, because those are the ingredients I have prepped so far, because they seem like very safe ingredients that can go in a million different directions. Otherwise, I have tons of stuff. I just noticed that my color theme is very pale. We could either lean into that or evade. But I got a million things. I got cabbage, bok choy, salmon, tuna. There's some lobster in there, I think. Bananas, ground beef, ramps, oysters, dried anchovies, okra, peas, raspberries, pickles, pepperoni, bacon, cucumbers, bok choy. We have leftover birria, leftover mushroom bolognese, apple compote, plum jam, yellow curry paste. I got a million things. I was thinking stir fry because it's a nice, safe fallback, but also stir fry doesn't take very long, and I'm slightly concerned about that. But if no one intervened, Stir fry was where I was kind of headed, just because it is a safe fallback. So. Oop, there was a loose one in there. 4 cloves of garlic. These garlics were not the right shape for rolling. They were very angular, so I'm just peeling them by hand. They're also a smidge old, which makes them easier to peel because they shrink away from the skins a little bit. But we can do stir fry. I have a plan in the event. It's actually over there. The plan is over there. Look. See that big pan? That big pan needs to be taken care of. And I can show you how I deal with new used cast iron. Although I don't have a camera by the sink still, so you have to imagine that part. Garlic skins flying all over the place. So, Jay, how's it going? How was your week? Bring you back to me. It's going. That's how I feel every week. It's going. Star Wars Outlaws. I've heard mixed reviews about Star Wars Outlaws. Some people seem to really love it, and some people seem to be really put off by it. I have not partaken myself, so I cannot say either way. Oh, you still work on weekend, including Monday. Oh, that's very unfortunate. I'm still out of work all weekend, which is unfortunate for different reasons. All right. Stealth Assassin's Creed style mechanics. Okay, so yeah, if you're not into that, Assassin's Creed, the first Assassin's Creed was very innovative, I know, but it got old and repetitive. So I could see why a new game that's using Assassin's Creed mechanics would be off-putting for people who are kind of sick of that. I have way too little work and you have too much work. We should split the difference. If only there was some way to even things out so people aren't either overworked nor wasting away. So, like some sort of shift. I'm just going to matchstick up these gingers here. Some of the jobs I've looked at are like 12-hour rotating shift. And my thought is, why give someone an absurd long shift like that? You could hire 2 people instead. There's probably some reason for it, but I imagine that the real reason is bottom line at the company, as opposed to any kind of efficiency. I've got rice on the side. It's off the side here. I decided to start rice right away. So there's also rice coming up, which leans into a stir fry. It doesn't have to be a stir fry though. We could stew. We could make a slower cook rather than a fast cook and get these things all infused. We also have look at the colors I'm working with here. Look at the colors today. This is the most blank beige food I think I've ever put together, which means we either have to lean into it and make beige food, which sure does not sound very exciting, or we've got to spice this up with some colors. Did I hear beige? Did I hear more beige? I got to use these mushrooms. Ooh, I really got to use these mushrooms. Some of them are actually going off a little bit. Like, that one's bad. Mushrooms very rarely go bad, but these guys have been sitting here too long, I guess. And one of them at the bottom is definitely gone off. I'm going to wash these. Okay. Mushrooms are more gray than beige once you get inside. Sepsi wants color. What do we add that has some color? Green onions are green. If we add them very late, they'll stay nice and bright and vibrant. I have, ooh, I know what I have. Ooh, it's actually less purple than it was. I got this purple, which has faded to brown, because it's been sitting there for a couple of days. Mini pepper. I definitely want to use it before it goes off because it was homegrown. What else do we have? We've got tomatillo. We have some other kinds of peppers as well. We have, I'm going to wash these. 6 mushrooms. If I take the dried up stem bit off of that one. Ugh. Ugh. Some of these mushrooms have gone a little bit. I lost track of them. Washed. Washing them is super easy. You just get them in some water and you just give them rinse. Do a big old rinse. Okay, how am I going to get colors into this? The ends of these stems are all a little dried up, so I'm going to just take them off. Where's my bowl? Mushroom bowl. You don't eat onions? It just occurred to me that you said that. What kind of man doesn't eat onions? I got these because they were on sale, and I evidently got too many because I did not go through them before they started to go weird. So what are you, yes you, personally, having for dinner tonight? Or lunch, depending on your time, I suppose. Or breakfast? We had somebody in the far off place where it is currently morning once, I think. Okay. The mushrooms are a little bit ugly. Margarita chips and salsa. That sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. Chicken, bacon, Alfredo, garlic, cheese, toast. I know you said that as two separate things, but I read it as one thing, and now I think that's a great idea. Chicken, bacon, Alfredo, garlic, cheese, toast. I could make that. I could do that. Chicken toast. That's not... I don't just want chicken on top of toast, but like a... Ooh. Write that down. Somebody write that down. We're going to find out what color this is on the inside. The babiest little bell pepper I ever did see. I think it's green. It's a green bell pepper. It's just purple on the outside. Okay, interesting. Well, it gives us a little bit of color, I suppose. It's very thin-walled. Is it not spicy at all? You have to have the right kind of bread and good cheese. I agree. with the sentiment that it has to have the right kind of bread and the right kind of cheese. But what kind? Because it's a toast. So you don't want it to be too dense of a bread. It's got to be airy enough that you can get a crispy, toasty surface on it. And as for cheese, chicken, bacon, Alfredo, garlic cheese toast. The logical choice for cheese is a Parm on account of the Alfredo. And Parm and garlic go well together. Sourdough. Oh, you're taking this in a different direction than I would. Ooh. Make it a round. Hollow it out. I don't know. I think we got different ideas. This pepper is weird. It's so thin. It's like purple brown on the outside, green on the inside. I'm going to put it in with the onion. It's going to cook at the same time as the onion. Make a bowl. Oh, I see where you're taking this. That is not where I was taking this. You're making a chicken bacon Alfredo pasta bowl. I have seen purple ones before. It's not that one goes purple. It's a different variety where the outer skin is purple. But then I have cut into one in the past and it was red under the purple skin. And this one was green under the purple skin. I've also had a white one where it was like pure snow white on the outside. Cut into that one and it was also green on the inside. Okay. Mushrooms, carrots, squash, peppers, onions, ginger, garlic. Some slightly creepy mushrooms on the side. Rice, still very pale, still needs some color. We can do some things. There's also not a ton of spice going on here. Not really a very complex flavor. We have the rice. The rice is ready to go whenever I need it. I keep looking at I think we're going to use this. I keep looking at this in my fridge because it has like one dose left. So this would be the perfect time to use it. It is Taiwanese style yellow curry, which means we skip doing a spice blend and we just do this. Now I don't think I have any coconut milk. Megs, what are you doing? Madness. Thanks for the sub. It is, in fact, September. And September is longer than the length of a 1 month sub this year. So if you subscribe now, at the end of the month, you'll be able to subscribe again at the discounted rate. But the window is very, very narrow. It's like 2 days on either end. Thank you so much for the subscription. It is September. I have nothing planned today for September. I'm just waffling around, talking to you guys, chitting the chats, etc. We have new emotes. I did remember to go in and fill in all of my emote slots except for the ones that are bit rewards. and the ones that are higher tier subs. So there's no rewards for any of those things yet. But we filled all the rest of it in. So I'm going to use this so that I can get this out of my fridge. Because what better time to just use stuff up and get rid of it than now, the moment you're thinking of it. Which means we're going for a curry. But I don't really want a stewed curry. There they are. Jay found them. You can all find new favorites. You can all acquire new favorites from amongst the things. Curry, what's in this? It smells good. What's in this? Bookwoman! Bookwoman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. Oh my God, you've kicked off a hype train. Thank you for the Prime sub. There's a hype train. The least hyped train I've ever had. 25 months. And that's going to be the maximum number of months because you've been here the whole time. So, thanks. We're still brainstorming. I've been prepping ingredients and sort of 25 months is a long time. That's 2 years and a month. You're ready to get shipped off to preschool. We're prepping ingredients and kind of wandering towards a dish. What do you think? What do you think? I don't really want to do like a saucy coconut milk curry thing. I don't really want a soupy thing today. What have I got over here? I do have coconut milk. We could do coconut milk if I was so inclined. I don't know. We have vegetable broth. We currently have no meat in this. It doesn't have to stay that way. I'll throw an egg in it. We could turn all of this into like everyone says stir fry. Stir fry is the fallback. And I've been sort of prepping things that can go into a stir fry. What if we do a fried rice? Now, I don't have old rice, I have new rice, but we could still turn it into a fried rice. What meat options do I have? Well, we've got a bunch of frozen things. We could thaw them if we wanted to. I have frozen, well, let me tell you what I have not frozen first. I have bacon, pepperoni, egg. Those are the non-frozen options. Bacon, pepperoni, and egg. Oh, and sardines. Ooh, sardines. Canned, we have fish bits. Mrs. Adler's fish bits. I have anchovies, I have Spam, I have squid, I have I have pork sung. I have pork sung, which is this stuff. As for frozens, I've got a million things. We have ground beef, we have shrimp, we have lobster, we have a tri-tip steak, we have salmon, we have orange roughy, we have tilapia, tuna, oysters, dried anchovies, big shrimp, even bigger shrimp. We have imitation crab, which I was talking about earlier because it happened to be pulled out. There's lamb steak in there. I gotta use up some frozens. Ideally, I would use up one of the frozens because I really. Thawing's issue with big stuff. So, and the tri-tip is also huge. We're not going to use the tri-tip. Shrimp wouldn't be that hard. The fake crab wouldn't be that hard. This little tuna steak wouldn't be. But if we're doing this fried rice, I don't think tuna goes in fried rice. Shrimp sure goes in fried rice. I don't have any chicken. I have frozen and dried anchovies, which are meant for like making broths and stocks. I didn't really plan this one out today, which is why we're kind of waffling. We're kind of waffling. The pieces of salmon are all pretty big too. We have. Oh, there's Oh, that's octopus. One of these is a lobster tail that I got on a crazy discount and tucked away for the future. Lamb. The lamb is. The lamb might be too big of a piece. It's this. It's not super thick, but it's like a big shoulder chop. We'll keep that in mind. We can definitely make that a main event. The problem is most of the meats in here are like main event things, which is why they're still in here, because I can only really use one at a time as a main event, and usually planned out. There's hot dogs. Tell you what. Not that one. This one. Tell you what. It's not a big one, but we're going to crack into this guy and use part of this. Imitation crab meat, which is essentially just pollock with some red food coloring on it. But I can like break chunks of this off and they'll thaw pretty fast. Also, it's pre-cooked because it's like chicken nuggets. So we don't have to worry about getting it perfectly thawed before it goes in, because it can be eaten as is. And it, at the very least, gets something out of my freezer, which is an ongoing struggle. We got to plan something from all that stuff. My theme for September should be make space in the freezer, which means we got to use up that stuff. I should do a Discord poll. I should list out all of those freezer main event items in Discord and have people like pick one. Isosceles, you are legitimately, irrevocably, and forevermore today first. Congratulations. Oh, this is hard. Okay. This is a good one because I also have been known to just kind of snack on these things. These guys are, which is why I bought extras and threw them in the freezer, because I'll just snack on these if they're available. So we won't have to worry about this guy at all. But he's rock hard. Okay, well, I guess that's enough ingredients. We're gonna. That's enough. So we're making a curry. We're making a curry fish mushroom fried rice. That's the plan. I'll put that in the title. Yeah, okay. I guess that's the plan. We're going to use the big pan because it's good for fried rice. My phone is ringing. Let me pause for a sec. It was nothing. Okay, well, I guess we should start actually. No, we're gonna bloom. I'm gonna prep. We're gonna do more prep. There's still more prep to be done. Curry fried rice. Nope, that didn't come loose. This. So if that's our main flavor, fried rice has typically got a soy sauce based thing, and we don't have any other salty ingredients in here, so I'm going to add some soy sauce to the curry. I want to hydrate this up so it breaks up and so that I can really just toss it in and do a quick toss. Tossy toss. Let's give it a shot of seasoning. Savory that up. Let's give it a shot of rice vinegar, mirin, the yellow curry has a heat to it, so I don't want to go overboard with extra spices, but I feel like a little extra heat's not a bad idea. Let's put in a little sambal oelek because it's in the neighborhood of the flavors we already got working with. And baby shrimp instead of fish sauce. Ooh, a dab of baby shrimp. That stuff is strong AF. That's probably all we need. Because it's, as I said, strong. Some sambal oelek, that'll give us a little bit of color. as well. Put these little shrimps away. If you've never had this stuff, if you've never had, oh, what's this called? This is called, oh, it's got an Indonesian name. This is an Indonesian, sorry, this is a Philippine. This is a Philippine. I got two of these. It's called bagoong, I think. Something like that. It is fishy, but very savory. Very intensely savory. And a tiny, tiny bit goes a long way. And this is Chinese shrimp paste. And I'm actually going to add just a dab of that as well. It's a different flavor entirely. And that's going to be my seasoning. We want a little bit of oil in there. We want a little bit of oil in there. Sesame oil. Okay. Do I add a sweet? Do I add a sweet ingredient to make it balanced out? The mirin is probably our sweet ingredient. It's probably all we need. We probably don't need a punchier sweetness to it. Do we go for any dry spices? I don't really want to throw hot peppers in this. I don't want to make this blast your nose off hot. We have garlic, we have ginger. There's already a bunch of dry spices in the... I think we just... I think we call that. I think that's going to be my flavor mix. All that stuff, none of it should overwhelm that big chunk of curry paste from the beginning. So, yeah. Let's slide over here. We're going to use the big pan because I can really push stuff around in it, and I've got quite a few ingredients, all told. Get down some grape seed and heat on, not blasting hot, but above medium, medium-high. This stuff should give us some color for sure. And the little pink edges on this guy, if he ever thaws out, this might not even thaw out in time. Oh, and I'm just going to cut them with the shears, but we're going to throw in some scallion at the end. That'll give us a nice bright green pop as well. Yes, okay. Okay, that's the plan. It only took me an hour to come up with a plan. But I will have to think about, we should use one of these main event frozen meats on, oh no, Monday's Labor Day. I guess we're coming back on Tuesday. Just so I don't want to run into Labor Day. But we should use one of these main event proteins next week right away. And I keep looking at this one in the front. You guys cannot see this one in the freezer. It's right here. I put it in the front so it would stare me down every time I open the freezer. And it's oxtail. And I absolutely need to use that one up because it's taking up so much room. So I guess I'm looking for suggestions for what to do with $2.5 pounds of oxtail. for next week. I'm going to start us off with our carrot. Pan's not quite hot because that did not sizzle going in. So how about an oxtail soup in a bread bowl? We could do that. We could make that an event. Big grandiose thing. Make my own boule. I'd have to start a little bit early. Make my own boule. Whack the top off, scoop it out, make bread bowl, take the scooped out interior, turn it into like a crouton thing. We could do that. We don't do big elaborate projects like that because they're big and elaborate. Jamaican braised oxtail. Well, if you now Bookwoman's not in the Discord, but Bookwoman has a direct line to me, so you could send me that recipe. Anybody else has any suggestions? We do have a suggestion box in the Discord, and I would love to hear what you think. I should make. You know what? In the interest of more color, I'm grabbing one of these Anaheim peppers because it's bright orange, and we're going to throw that in as well. Okay, what? Anaheims aren't very spicy, so we're not upping the spice level, but we are providing a little bit of extra color. I suppose if you're not in my Discord, let me grab that real fast and go. There. That. For those of you who are cool and want to be in a cool Discord with other cool people, uncool people are also welcome. Okay. What are we looking at over here? Carrots are getting a little bit of brown around the edges. I'm going to move on to the next step, which is onions. And peppers. And why not, mushrooms. think we might be making a mountain of food today. I think we might be going way overboard and making a gigantic pile of food today. Some of these things will shrink up as they cook. I'm going to give them a light shot of salt to help, especially the mushrooms, lose some of their moisture. I think I might have lost control and made a giant pile of food again, but it's healthy. Remember, August is health month, despite some really crazy, cheesy things that I did that completely do not fit the theme. And despite the fact that I have not talked about health month since the first day, it's still true. My doctor told me on yesterday that I have too much cholesterol, but not like enough to be medicated. He says, like, ease off on the cheese and meat a little bit. So, okay. We're on that sort of borderline and like, keep an eye on it, but don't like go crazy. Throwing in the squash. Why have I made so much food? It's because I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I either cook very fast, which is what happened on Monday. I was hungry and I cooked fast. Or I cook way too much. But if I eat like this, just delicious, nutritious vegetables, also, I'm neither vegetarian nor vegan. You've seen me eat just a big slab of meat more than once. But one thing I hate, absolutely hate, is when people say that vegan food is boring. This right here, this thing we're eating right here, or cooking right here, at the moment, is completely vegan. It's not going to stay that way, but I guarantee you that it's delicious at this stage where we are right now. We're going to let these vegetables cook down a little bit before I move on. And in this day and age, in the current modern day, with the insane, like, meat... Have you seen those idiots on, like, TikTok who just eat only unseasoned meat and eggs and butter? And they just look miserable. How has it come to this? How has society come to this? Anyways. You know, it just hit me. You know what I could do for September is sub sandwiches. An entire month of sub sandwiches. All right, that was a tangent, and I said it because it literally just hit me just then. Okay, if these guys are getting shrunk down a little bit, let's see if I can't break off a chunk of this frozen fish. Yeah, it softened up. Excellent. It would be a lot of subs. It would be quite a few subs. It'd be an excuse for me to learn how to make a proper, like, roll, submarine roll. We're getting into autumn times when it's not so screaming stupid hot that I am afraid to turn the oven on. I did want to throw an egg in here as well, in part because there's one egg left in this carton, and it clears the carton. Okay, are you... putting the lid on to let the... putting the lid on to let that chunk of fish steam a bit, because I want to break it up. I don't want just a big hunk in the middle. The rest of this will be thawed by the time I want to get around to eating it. Probably have that for a snack. I love snacking on that stuff. It's surprisingly high in starch for being a meat because it's got a starch stabilizer. But let's do an egg. Right. Oop. Well, good thing I'm planning on scrambling this egg, because good lord did I destroy that egg. What even happened? What even happened just then? That'd be a good clip, probably. I never call for clips. If I ever do something clip worthy, you know, clip it. I don't even understand what happened there. I just obliterated that egg. And I'm not doing a very good job, because we don't need a very good job scrambling it. Okay, back to the stove. You should be... Okay, our vegetables are... Our vegetables are all at the point where I don't want to cook them too much more. Our fish thing needs to get over itself and break up into chunks. Okay. egg. Let egg cook a little bit. Retrieve rice. Now I've got to think about how to formulate a plating for this. Because once rice goes in, we're not going to be too much longer for this world. How you doing, egg? You're sticking, but not too badly. Our rice stuck together a little bit while it was sitting in the pot waiting for me, but again, not too badly. And now we mix it in, fry our rice. Okay, you let that sit there for a little bit so that some of the rices get a little bit toasty where they try to get on the bottom. I'm not doing this in a wok. Normally you have your wok on real high, and the heat from the surface of the wok and the tossing would give you that same effect that I'm currently going for. Yeah. By the way, this pan is not a sponsor. This is that pan I got for $10 at the thrift store and was blown away by the quality. If you've got the budget to get one of these things new, this Tramontia brand makes a fabulous pan. Okay. Our final ingredient, all the rest of the ingredients. Ooh, it immediately smells like curry. And the rice immediately picked up all of that sauce. And has not glued together into one big mass, so that honestly is pretty much what I was hoping for at that stage. How big of a pile does this form when I pile it together? I'm thinking about plating. I'm thinking about plating. Because a fried rice can be plated on a plate. The heat off. We're going to do a fancy plating. I said I was going to put a scallion in there at the end, and now's the end, so we do that now. I have an idea for a plating. We're gonna fancy up right now at the 11th hour. Save a tiny bit of our onion for a decorative topper. Okay. Stirred in. Scallions away. Get you guys over here with me. Here's the plan. We've done something like this once before. I don't have a square bowl, but I have this squarish bowl. With a little bit of sesame oil. We're going to fill that up and use it as a mold. I'm going to wash my hand because it's got sesame oil on it. We're going to fill it up over here so I don't have to haul the big pan over there. And I want to get as much in as physically possible. Which might be all of it. Ooh, not quite. Not quite all of it, but definitely a majority. Now, this pan is very hot, and I keep just lightly grazing the edges while I'm doing this. And it hurts my finger. Oh, you know, if we really pack this in, I think we can do it. Pardon me while I fuss over my creation a little bit. Hopefully, the pan or the bowl is sufficiently oiled that this releases when I want it to. Because we are going for broke on packing it in. Okay. Okay. Okay, we got it all in there. We're coming back over. We're doing the thing. We have jammed that in there. Yeah, fishy hot dish. And this is the plan. We did it. We did it. There it is. Topped with our bicolored sesame seed and the last few little bits of green onion. Have them kind of cascade around. Okay, that's my vision come true. Behold. What side? That side for sure, because you can see more of the innards kind of peeking out the side. Okay, I'm going to slide over to the other room, grab our glamour shot, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you if this thing is edible or not. Odds are good that this is going to be an eatable food. Okay. Whew. I'm getting really hungry too, so. So let's dive in. So let's dive in. Break into the side of it. It is definitely hot. Okay. What do we got? Didn't scorch my mouth. Oh, but it's spicy. It's got a slow burn. Ooh. Ooh. It's not spicy up front, but it builds pretty fast. First things first, tastes like fried rice. Second thing, tastes like curry, which I guess is the opposite of what I expected. I thought that curry, oh, that stuff's got a kick. Maybe I put in too much sambal oelek. There is some hot pepper in that curry. I think I want some black pepper on the top too. Need to balance out the spices with more spices. I didn't want something soupy stewy today, and this is not that. But interestingly, I was expecting the rice, because it sat there for so long, to kind of glue together, but it tumbles apart into nice individual pieces pretty well. It's a pleasant eating experience because it's not like a gluey mass, which is a risk when using freshly made rice for a fried rice, is that it'll be too wet and it will like want to form a paste instead of a nice individual pieces of rice. But we avoided that. And I'm going to attribute that to the fact that I did not forget to rinse my rice. I did not forget to wash my rice right at the beginning. That is what washing rice does for you. It gives you these nice individual pieces of rice. All the ingredients come through individually. I guess I can't pick out carrot, but everything else kind of comes through like it would in a stir fry or a fried rice. But also, it's got this sort of built up flavor that's more like a curry, but it's not. Whew, with no coconut milk and no like major fatty ingredient in here to cut through it, that curry spice is roaring. It definitely has a hold on the flavors. Glad we didn't go too hard on any of our fish ingredients. You can taste a little bit of the fish in it, but it's not really very strong. It's sort of a nice undertone. Sorry, I'm very hungry. Sorry. Which I've said 3 times now. But I'm trying to talk my way through this so I can stop and just go and just devour this thing. I'm going to devour this thing. This is a huge pile of food, and I'm going to absolutely destroy this. Ooh. Ooh-wee. Well, I mean, that's what you do. That's what a stir fry or a fried rice are all about. Is just taking stuff that you've got, throw it in there, make food out of it. And that's what we did. I had some kind of over-the-hill mushrooms, some wrinkly peppers, nice fresh onion, those carrots, just odds and ends. Just odds and ends. Yeah, I guess there's not much more to say about this other than it worked. It looks pretty good. And the curry spice is powerful. I might even get a glass of milk on the side just to sort of. I don't expect this to be like blowing my butt out hot, but it definitely has a rapidly building heat in the mouth, and I might want to just have a sip to take the edge off. Which again, normally it'd be coconut milk to kind of cut down that fiery curry. Well, it's not a massive full-length stream, but it's long enough that I'm going to say I don't need to fill time. We can think about this pan at a later date. It's not going anywhere. And since I am hungry, I want to just attack this thing. I'm going to wrap us up and ship us out. I suppose people are already kicking into their long holiday weekend. But thanks to those of you who did show up today. There's my thing. Also, I need a haircut. I'm getting in that mad scientist frizz again. I keep looking at mad scientist frizz. Who is on that we can go drop the couple of you off at? Let's see. I don't think we're going to go see 24/7 Street Food. That sounds boring. Who of my followers is on? We've rated Murphy a bunch lately. We should change things up. Peanut butter, chocolate chip, loaf cake, s'mores, blondies, and 2 flavors of pretzels. Let's go to someone brand new. And just see what's what. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for tolerating my weird waffling around ramble. And thanks for tolerating my delicious food. Like I said earlier, I don't think I'm going to be on for Labor Day. If I am, it's going to be at a weird time. But I'm probably just going to say push it to Tuesday because it's Labor Day. Or who knows, maybe I'll bring it up to Sunday. That might be an idea. So I guess stay tuned. For sure coming up in the next week. Otherwise, we're going to use one of these main event proteins in here and make a main event protein. That's going to be the thing. Yeah. So, I guess thanks for sticking with me. Happy September. Oh, thanks for the subscriptions because it's September to Mags and Bookwoman. There's my countdown. Sorry, I pull this thing up. I can't see the feed anymore. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye. And then we push stop.